Hey, I've got a lot of messages over the past few episodes. Want to let you know, over the break, we recorded these new episodes and we realized too late that some of them had audio issues. So if you're listening to this or watching this and you see that the audio is not the quality that it usually is, just cut us a break on it. We figured it out. The new episodes should be much better, but just wanted to give you a heads up that we are aware of it, and quit messaging me on Instagram about it. Thank you. Now back to the episode.
This episode of Things I Learned Last Night is brought to you by Grammarly. Now, this is actually a tool that I used in high school and in college when I was writing papers. It's an extension that you can put in your word processor. You can do it on their website where you take the paragraph, the paper that you wrote, you plug it in, and it'll tell you all of your grammar mistakes, spelling mistakes, punctuation mistakes, and it really is it's a proofreader that's over your shoulder without the embarrassment of handing your paper to someone else for them to go, wow, you suck at writing. It really is like a computer that saves you from that embarrassment. Did you use it?
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, it's awesome. So you can sign up TILLN.com/writegood. TILLN.com/writegood. WRITEGOOD. You can sign up for Grammarly. This is actually something that I believe in as opposed to everything else we've thrown on this podcast.
Have you ever heard of Castle Bravo?
Castle Bravo?
Yeah.
Yes.
Really? Mm-hmm. What is it?
It's the place that Johnny Bravo lives. Things I learned last night.
Hey, thanks so much for being a part of Things I Learned Last Night. You got to go ahead and check out our Patreon. We have special content over there. You can get early access to all of our content, ad-free content. We got discounts on merch, and we have special edition merch that's only available to our supporters. You got to go over to TILLN.com/join. That's TILLN.com/join to become a Patreon today.
Hey.
I hate that so much.
Castle Bravo honestly sounds like White Castle trying to do an upscale restaurant. I mean, they would call it Castle Bravo.
Yeah,
right?
That's pretty accurate. It's like
a sit down, cloth napkins, but you still get that gross. Was it you and me that tried White Castle?
So
we
bad.
hated it, right?
So bad. Like, welcome to Castle Bravo.
Castle Bravo. Yeah, you have, and there's
have you
someone
ever
who
dined with us before?
whispers like that to you. When you walk in, they're like they gotta create an atmosphere for some reason. They're gonna be like, hi, welcome to Castle Bravo. And you're like, can you speak up?
I can't hear you.
What was that? You know,
I can't hear you over the candle clicking. sorry, the candle's a little louder than you. Can you speak up?
Can you? What was that?
Man, this place is great, but these candles are really loud.
And it's like you're talking full volume and still can't hear over the candle too. It's like a full. It's not like a wood, like those wood crackling candles where it's like this is just a log that's burning, and you're just like it's a raging fire, and you're just like, I can't hear you.
You'll notice our awesome
Also,
candles.
it's really hot in here. Does every table have a raging fire next to it?
Sir, those are our candles.
There was a vacuum commercial when we were growing up. That it was a restaurant. I don't know if you remember this commercial. Have you seen this commercial where it was a restaurant?
You gotta tell me about it first.
And they eat on the floor?
Yeah. No. What?
They don't
tell me more.
Like
Keep
they just
going.
put the food on the floor and
not
then
even
you eat off
not even
the
like
floor.
A little
I
table?
don't remember there being plates.
What was the commercial for?
It was for a vacuum.
Restaurant?
It was for a floor cleaning thing.
Oh, weird.
That this restaurant uses this floor cleaning set and they serve the food on the floor.
It's a publicity stunt.
It had to have been.
Yeah, that's not real.
Yeah, I didn't think it was a great. I was like, this seems very wrong. But that was one thing, and then also Castle Bravo. You walk in, they're whispering. I was trying to get to where I was thinking of. Have you seen About Time, the movie? About Time, Rachel McAdams. It's a pretty good romantic comedy film.
Yeah.
But they go to a restaurant that's pitch black. And it's like dark.
Oh,
yeah, I want to go.
yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
There's one in
it sounds
Kansas City.
Is there? Shut up.
Yeah,
Is there
Bree
really?
and I almost went. A few years ago.
You should shave it. You should
Shave it.
Save that,
Shave
and
it.
we should go together.
Shave
the
it.
three of us.
Shave it. Shave it.
Shave it.
It's like a
Shave it.
it's a parent who's like really mad at their kid, but they can't get save it out right. They're like, shave it. Shave it.
Shut up. No, man.
Shut your mouth.
Okay, so Castle Bravo.
Casa Bravo is the largest nuclear device ever detonated by the United States.
Oh, well, that's not an actual castle then. Okay.
It looked a lot like a castle. It was like those fireworks that blow up into shapes. They did that.
Okay.
Everyone's like, "Whoa, look, a castle!"
It's even got a little flag on top. Yeah, the detail
How
in
did they
this
do
nuclear
that?
explosion is incredible. It's the last thing I'll ever see.
But man, I'm glad I see it. They wanted to make it more like humane, you know.
Okay.
Like, go out on a
Anyway,
high
Castle
note.
Bravo, gigantic nuclear explosion done by who? Us?
Yeah,
obviously.
the United States.
Yeah, we're known for our bombs and obesity. That is.
I don't know.
That's what we're known for. I don't know how else to say it. You know, the whole country's got to go to a moo.
March 1st, 1954.
Set the scene for me.
What is that?
1954, 14 years after 1940.
Yes.
Okay.
66 years before now. Oh, 67 years before now. Well, almost. 66 years and 11,
okay.
12, 10 months before now. Or is that?
No,
yeah.
you had it real wrong. But go ahead. By the time this episode comes out, it'll be different anyway. It doesn't matter.
So it was a test at the Bikini Atoll, which is where we tested a lot of our nuclear bombs after World War II.
Yeah.
Basically, this island south of Hawaii, east of Japan, north of
We just found a piece of land and
Australia.
we're like, we can blow that up.
pretty accurate, actually.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, we were just like, let's just drop a bunch of bombs here. And so we did that. And so Castle Bravo was intended to be the largest bomb we ever tested.
Yeah.
The expectation...
This is 1954.
54, yes. The expectation was it to be equivalent to 6 megatons of TNT.
Okay.
To give you...
What's a megaton?
It's a ton. That's real big.
How many 737s is that?
Oh gosh. I need some time to do the math. That's a lot.
Okay.
No, so to give you some equivalency here.
Yeah.
15, or the little boy bomb that was dropped on Hiroshima was 15 kilotons,
Okay.
which a megaton is 1,000 kilotons. So this was going to be
This is
6,000
huge.
kilotons. So yeah, it was their expectation. It was 6,000 kilotons. So a massive bomb. The issue was they couldn't get their hands on enough lithium-6.
I feel like they would literally start a tsunami if they set that off out there, though.
Theoretically.
Yeah.
The issue with their plan was they couldn't get their hands on enough lithium-6. So they were like, well, let's just sub in some lithium-7. Kind of like when you're making, like, I don't know, pasta, and it calls for 4...
How often do you just make pasta?
It calls for 4 cups of water to boil. Like,
And
it's
then
like,
you're
boil
like,
4
let's
cups
just
of
put
water.
in
And you're like, I only have...
Coca-Cola.
You're like, I only have 3 cups of water. So you sub out the last cup with vinegar.
You realize as soon as you started, when you said pasta, I saw your eyes go, this analogy is not going to work. And then you leaned into it and went, you only have 3 cups of water. Now, let's go through this doomsday scenario, right? So you're sitting there at the house that you own, and you've only got 3 cups of water, right? And then you're like, what? Rather than save these for hydration that we're definitely going to need, let me go ahead and make some very much needed bow tie pasta, okay? So I've only got 3 cups of that, and I've got this vinegar for some reason.
But I got a surplus of vinegar.
I got so much vinegar.
Makes
It's
the
kind
pasta
of like
come
when
out
you're
tasting
making cookies
unexpected.
and
It's
you run out
unexpected.
of sugar, so you just start putting in baking soda.
You start putting in that powder that you clean your bathtub with. It'll probably be the same, right?
This is the same color.
It looks the same. It's got to be the same.
That's how it works. That looks the same as sugar to you.
It's got those like blue chunks in it.
It's like when you go out to a restaurant and you're making some sweet tea because they only have unsweetened tea, right? And they have the packets on the table.
Yep, absolutely.
And you use the 2 packs of real sugar, and then you have to decide, is that enough, or do I throw in a pack of this like sweet and low?
Yeah. Or Splenda. Or...
People always said Splenda, but we always had sweet and low.
Really?
Yeah.
I always saw Splenda.
Which now that I think
Maybe
about it,
it's-
sweet and low sounds sensual. You know? Here's some sweeten because there's a music note on the front of it. Just
there's
sweet
that music.
and low.
It tells you the tone. Like, yeah, you're at
Castle Bravo.
you're at Casa Bravo.
Right.
The
Raging fire.
raging fire flickering. They bring you your food, and the waitress is like, "Would you like some?"
Sweet and low. She says that full volume too. Hi guys, thanks for coming to Castle Bravo. Would you guys be interested in a sweet and?
I'm sorry. All I heard you say was sweet and low.
I'm
really weird.
So sorry. I'm gonna need you to repeat that. Oh, I'm sorry. Welcome to Castle Bravo. Would you guys like some sweet and low?
Again,
You're like,
I don't need you to say sweet.
Again,
I need you
all
to
I
say
heard-
everything else louder. Sweet and low can actually be said quieter. If you could,
Got
please.
it. Got it. Hey guys, welcome to Castle Bravo. May I interest you in some unsweet tea and sweet and low? And you're like, what is going on here? Is this a dinner theater? It is. It's a dinner theater. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
It's actually a murder mystery. So
One of you is gonna get murdered tonight. Don't worry, it's all part of the show.
Timothy,
Jared.
do we have merchandise?
Yeah.
Very cool. How do I purchase some?
You can go to TILLN.com/merch. There we have mugs, t-shirts, hoodies. I mean, anything you could want.
stickers?
No.
We do have stickers.
Do we?
Yeah.
TILLN.com/merch.
Oh, yeah. One of you is about to get bombed. I'll tell you what. So they put in, instead of lithium 6,
Yeah. They put in
we got some
lithium-
leftover lithium 7
Yeah.
over here.
And what they didn't expect is the way the 6 and the 7 was going to interact together. So when
Well, I mean, they saw what 7 and 9 did together.
but they
Because
figured-
lithium 7, 8, 9.
But they'd never seen that sort of behavior between 7 and 6.
You're
before.
right. You're
They're like,
right.
we can't put 9 in there because we know.
We know what 7's going to do to it.
Yeah, so 7 and 6 didn't play well together.
Okay.
And when it detonated, it instead of being 6 megatons of like TNT equivalent, it was 15 megatons. So almost triple.
So it worked. I mean, like if the goal is to obliterate an island. Yes, go ahead.
I don't think that was the goal. The goal was, yeah. So then this thing blew up. It was insane. Insane's a good.
How do you even drop that? Do you set it out there and detonate it, or do you drop it?
They set it out there and they detonated it.
Yeah.
And so their
I was
intention.
gonna say, because you got, how far away do you need to be? Do you know?
They were 30 miles away. They were 30 miles away when it detonated.
Yeah.
Which wasn't far enough.
Really?
Yeah, so they nicknamed it the shrimp device, and they just dropped it into this island. And by drop it, I mean they like put it there and left it. And they covered the island in these like towers with like these reflectors that would reflect the energy to sensors that they had at their like base where they were watching it before getting absolutely obliterated. So they're basically like this weird series of mirrors. Like kind of like, you remember when you were a kid and that one kid, Joseph, had the
With an F.
yeah
Yeah.
with the had the little
Joseph.
all consonants, but the J are Fs. They're Joe. Even the J, it's fofif. I hate you. What do they call it? Periscope?
Was he born in September?
The periscope. You know that little thing where it's like you look through it, it's got the eyes.
Yeah.
and it goes up,
And you see the mirror and it goes up. Yeah.
Yeah, and that kid keeps coming over to your fence and peeking over your fence, and you're like, if you come look at me one more time, I'm throwing a baseball in your periscope.
Dude, your neighbors. What?
He's like, oh, I see you with my periscope.
Neighborhood was freaking. No wonder your mom locked the door all the time.
Fofif keeps looking in our windows with the periscope.
Now there's no S in the middle. It's just fofif. Fee, fi, fo, fofif.
Yeah, Fofif was the
He's got a speech impediment where everything's F's.
Every consonant.
He's like, fate fim. Five was to fuffin. Over. He can say fence pretty well.
Check out my new Periscope. Ferrophof.
I hate this so much. Okay, so they set up a series of mirrors to capture the energy.
The energy, so they could calculate it. Well,
faffle fafo.
yeah. So they immediately realized something was very wrong.
Immediately?
Yeah, immediately.
When they detonated it.
Right when they detonated it.
Yeah,
They were like,
whoops.
they're like, this is...
That was huge.
So here's a little information about the explosion. At the time of detonation, let me find this
This is March 1st, 1954.
1954.
Day or night?
Morning, 6:45 in the morning, local time.
Wow, way to start your day.
Try to snooze that. When it erupted, within 1 second, it formed a fireball almost 4.5 miles wide.
Whoa.
And it left a crater 6,500 feet in diameter and 250 feet deep. And the mushroom cloud reached a height in about a minute of 130,000 feet, which commercial airplanes travel between 30 and 40,000 feet. So this
You could have
literally,
seen that thing from space.
it was about 5 miles from exiting the stratosphere, the mushroom cloud. That's how massive this explosion was.
I feel like Earth is going to get its like payback for that kind of stuff, you know?
Yeah. So the cloud that came out and then expanded out from it ended up covering about 7,000 square miles. So just this massive event. The Castle Bravo was 1,000 times more powerful than both the atomic bombs that were dropped in Japan. So just mind-numbingly massive explosion. That's like incredibly difficult to even comprehend. It was the intensity of it.
You could wipe out entire nations.
Yeah, I mean, pretty close to it. The intensity of it, the people who were observing 30 miles away said it felt like, from the other side of the glass that they were viewing in, they said it felt like someone was holding a blowtorch to them and like just spraying them with a blowtorch
30 miles
from
away.
30 miles away. They could visually, like let me define
With
visually.
their eyes.
With their eyes.
They could visually,
See the explosion.
with their eyeballs.
No, this is insane. They could, for some reason, the intensity of the light was so bright that it made the observers' bones visible through their skin. You could look and see everyone's bones through their skin. That's how intensely
No way.
bright this was. It made your skin translucent for that moment of the brightness. It was just insanely massive. So that's why they immediately were like, this shouldn't be happening.
Humans shouldn't be able to do this.
Yeah, we should not have done this. The reason why it became such a big issue is because it was a massive bomb.
Yeah, no, the reason is because in Japan, they were like, what are y'all doing over there?
Yeah.
Just wanted to let you know, we saw that.
Hey, saw that thing you did. Not a fan.
Hey, just wanted to drop a quick telegram. And
Very quick question. What are you doing?
he wrote a letter. It got there a week later. It was like, hey, last Thursday.
Yeah.
What day was March 1st on?
1954.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Please be Thursday. Please be Thursday.
It doesn't say in the article. I don't want to
No,
go back
Google
to
it.
I'm not going back to. Oh, yeah, I guess I could just Google it.
Idiot. What day was March 1st, 1954?
Monday.
Wow, they started their week with this. 6:45 a.m.
Got a real case of the Mondays, huh?
Like, wow, guys. Whoo.
Some
wow.
Monday. Really starting a Monday off with a boom, am I right? I'm just looking for an explosive start to the week, you know?
I
just
hate you. Literally hate everything about you.
I just want to get after it.
Yeah.
Blow this week out of the water. Which is what it happened. Because it was it was the Bikini
Which is,
Atoll.
speaking of, it's kind of what happened.
Bikini
What happened to the ocean? Because this is how big is the island?
I mean, island size.
I mean, I'm so when you say left a crater, did it leave a crater in the island, or is the island big enough to hold that? Or
The island is big enough. It's an atoll, so it's like a series of little islands in this big whole circle. But it turned it to a pretty dangerous place. Obviously, it's radioactive. But there was a coral reef in it. Completely obliterated the coral reef.
Obviously.
Sent all that coral up into the air, radioactivized it. And along with all the sand
And it
from
landed.
it. And so that cloud reached out 7 miles, and it basically snowed radioactive sand and coral
into the ocean.
and into local islands. Because here's what's
Where's the closest people live to that?
gosh.
You know, that probably wouldn't happen if you took a Benadryl before you got here. Because Tim will show up to my apartment. I have 2 cats, and Tim's pretty allergic to both of them. And
Yes.
and then doesn't take the Benadryl until he gets here, where he's like, you know what? I'm going to expose myself to this
Yeah.
and then try to remedy that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've even diffused some oils for you, man. I didn't.
Gosh, I hate that. I can't find anything that says how far it is from other islands. But here's what I can show you.
So I'm just wondering if there's an island that's like maybe, 6 miles away.
I mean, it's pretty close. Okay. Oh, hey, this actually works perfect. This has a key. So let me just measure this. It's about like 100,000 737s from another island. No, that's not accurate.
I hate this.
But it's about 100 kilometers from the closest other island.
Okay,
if
so
my
there's
measurement is right.
distance.
So there's distance, but it's a part of a chain of islands called the Marshall Islands.
Right.
And there's,
Dang it, Tim.
there's life on these islands.
I didn't take a Benadryl. I'm allergic to Tim. I'm allergic to Tim.
So there's other people alive on these local islands, but so they watched very closely the wind because they were more worried about the nuclear fallout than the explosion.
Yes, than that blowing.
Yeah, because the fallout obviously is going to spread way further than the explosion spreads. And so,
Oh, is that why that video game's called Fallout?
yeah. Are you really just realizing that?
Wow.
I hate you.
Is it because of... Oh.
Okay, so the
Kind of rude.
so they had closely been watching the weather.
wind, right?
Yeah, the wind to see which way it would travel. So there was a north wind which blew it away from, which will blow the fallout away from any other island.
Okay.
There's nothing north of Bikini Atoll. Shortly before, there was this unexpected shift in the wind east, which blew it directly into the rest of the Marshall Islands. We're all east of Bikini Atoll.
Yeah.
And there was a massive chunk, like the majority of them are east. There's a couple west, but the majority of them are east. They knew this, but they still said, even with an eastern wind, the fallout should not be able to travel that far of a distance.
It was way bigger.
It was significantly bigger than they expected. So pretty much the rest of the Marshall Islands were exposed to severe radiation. Because the distance.
It's like raining microwaves out there.
Look at all these microwaves falling from the sky. How
I
are they
don't know
all
if
on?
If I'm more afraid of getting hit in the head by a microwave or by radiation.
I don't know, but all the microwaves are on, and there's a whole bunch of forks in there.
I had a pretty big fear the other night. I was out door dashing when the Chiefs won the AFC Championship. We're going to the Super Bowl again. It's a good. You should convert to be a Chiefs fan, man. We're like better than your team.
Okay, first of all, shut up.
You own a house here. And people, I'm always afraid that people are shooting their guns in the air. That's like one of my biggest fears, like a bullet landing in my head.
Yeah, that's pretty fair. In general, or just in general?
Generally pretty afraid of getting shot in the head. But like, you know.
I mean, it could happen at any time. Anytime someone could walk outside and just bop, 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 bop.
You know?
That was fun. And then you could be a couple miles away and you're in the arc.
I know. That's what
It's possible. It's not impossible. It's possible. Unlikely.
Probably.
But possible.
Cool. Hey, thanks for checking out Things I Learned Last Night. If you like what we're doing and you want to help us do more of it, one way you can do that is to purchase some merchandise. We've got mugs, t-shirts, all that stuff on the websites, TILLN.com/merch. If you go to TILLN.com/merch, all of that is there for you to check out, and we would love for you to be a part of the show and helping us to do more things. So thanks for checking this out, and back to the episode.
The radiation from the fallout traveled within about 15 hours, 300 miles.
Okay.
Which completely engulfed 3 of the islands in the Marshall Islands, and eventually would impact islands closer. And there was some of the closer islands obviously got a stronger effect from it because
And people live there?
Yeah, a lot of people live there. So it wasn't a.
Did they have to evacuate?
The problem is the U.S.
government didn't tell anybody.
They didn't handle this well.
Yeah, they were just like, "Oh, guys, hey, remember how we could see each other's bones? Let's never tell anyone about these skeletons. You guys, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Skeletons inside
they made
your
dumb
body.
jokes. They're like, "Hey, let's just go back to work. It's Monday. All right, let's get back to. We'll talk about it on lunch break. Cool.
Yeah. Cool. So 48 hours after the detonation, which is about 30 hours after people started to get exposed to this, they evacuated the closest islands.
Yeah.
Not even the other islands.
30 hours?
48 hours.
48 hours.
So they had been taking in poisoning for 2 days essentially. And so in that early phase, there was about 1,000 people who experienced radiation sickness on the islands, and experienced a very obviously the severe effects of it, because for them it started snowing on their island, but that was radioactive coral. And what are you looking at?
The snow outside.
Oh my gosh. It was coral and sand from Bikini Atoll.
And
that
the
was
bird in my back
radioactive.
porch.
Is he not? He's still there?
No, he's out.
So the kids on the
Kids
island,
are like, we're playing in the snow.
they were. Everyone was playing in the snow. People were sticking their tongue out because they'd never seen it before. Never seen snow, so they just assumed this was snow. To me, a little confused about that though,
Probably tastes different.
because they definitely saw the mushroom cloud. They definitely saw the explosion because they
Yeah,
were
'cause,
close
they're
enough.
pretty close.
They heard it. They
saw
probably
each other's
felt
bones.
it. They saw each other's bones, and they're like, "Hey, we
They're
should
like-
eat that stuff falling from the sky."
They're like, good morning. It's Monday and there's snow outside.
I don't think the snow.
You want to build a coral man?
You see what just happened? A coral.
Yikes. So they were playing in the snow.
So
And
they were playing in the snow, but it was really radioactive material.
Do you want to build a nuclear man?
Okay.
And in 2 weeks we will die.
Yeah.
Is that what happened?
No.
Okay.
So
We'll just die of cancer in 60 years.
one of the most important things to discuss when discussing what happened here is actually a fishing ship called Lucky Dragon Number 5, which Inaccurate
Were
name.
they,
Inaccurate name.
Were they like just right by the island?
So they should have been about 50 miles outside of the area that actually got affected by the radiation.
Right.
But they had been out there early in the morning and they weren't getting any luck, so they changed course and went right into the zone. Before the explosion, the U.S. military had
Cleared the
been
waters.
very carefully watching radar. They had scout planes flying around looking. Nobody spotted them. They didn't get the memo. And so the Lucky Dragon crew is just out there fishing. No clue what's going on. And all of a sudden, the biggest bomb the United States ever detonates blows up like right in their line of sight. And they said it was the reports from the Lucky Dragon people talking about what happened are like harrowing, because obviously they also experienced the same type of stuff that the crew experienced, but they were definitely far more exposed because they're just on this shipping.
Well, here's my
fishing
thought:
boat.
if you're blowing that up,
Yeah,
is that in the water, on the land, on an island?
it's on an island, but
Did it affect the waves?
that's something that I've been very curious about. I haven't seen anything talk about.
Because that's what my thought
insane
was.
waves.
If this blows up and then
I would assume there would be tsunamis.
I guess right.
I haven't seen
How
anything
big of
talk
the-
about
yeah.
this. Talk about tsunamis.
Yeah. You know what I'll do? I'll run for president.
Okay.
When I get elected,
Yes.
we'll do a new podcast called "Things I Learned from the White House."
That would sell.
And I'll just uncover all the stuff of like, oh yeah, dude, like we killed a lot of people and covered it up.
Yeah.
This podcast episode alone is going to take me out of the running of being president.
So they said that it was this massive explosion. Obviously, they see the light, and they said it looked like the sunset. So there was just the sunset up in the sky, and then this blinding light, and then they call it a symphony of booms because for some reason it wasn't a single just blast sound. It was like over and over and over the booming sound.
Do you think the sound ricocheted off of the cloud that formed, or
I really don't know what caused it, but it was just this. I assume ricocheting.
maybe the
effect.
density of the clouds clashing the way the thunder happens. You know,
Maybe, but they said it was just this insane
nuclear thunder. That is a hockey team.
Okay, so there was this massive,
like a hockey team.
just repetitive explosion.
Yeah.
And then they had the same experience. They're seeing through each other's skin, and then the burning of it, and then they had the snow. And the fishermen were like, one of them said, I took a lick of the dust, but it was like they got like drenched in it. They were like, it completely soaked us. Like we were inhaling it. It was getting in our clothes. They were covered in this stuff. So they immediately were like, when the boom went off, they were like, that's curious. They kept fishing. When they heard the sound, and they were like, well, that's really weird too. But they just kept fishing. And then when it started snowing, they were like,
We should get out.
this is weird. We probably should leave. And so then they started their trip back to shore. The thing is, they were 6 hours away from home. So they just sailed through this radioactive snow for 6 hours. And 20 days later, the bomb claimed its first victim. And so one of the guys died. Everybody else surprisingly survived. They ended up not living very long lives.
Sure.
They survived for years after this. All of them ended up dying of some form of cancer.
Yeah.
And a lot of the people from all the islands started developing other forms of cancer or having children with serious deformities or not being able to have children at all.
Yeah.
But incredibly serious health concerns arose in all the people on Lucky 7 and any of the local Marshall Islands from the event. And the U.S. tried to just kind of pretend it didn't happen for the longest time.
for sure. Yeah. Like, what are you talking about? That
no,
massive
that.
explosion.
No, I totally, I missed
how
that.
about a coupon for Castle Bravo?
Yeah,
It's a new restaurant.
you stuck at Castle Bravo? Oh, I love that
15%
restaurant.
off.
I love
Wow,
that place.
cool.
It's a great restaurant.
Yeah.
So serious issue. And that actually ended up creating this big push among the people in the Marshall Islands to re-seize control of Bikini Atoll. In the 90s, they actually won. They sued the U.S. government. They won. They
keep blowing it up.
Yeah, they won a settlement. The U.S. government paid them out a ton of money, and they regained control over Bikini Atoll, so the U.S. can't do anything there anymore. And it was such a serious event that Japan actually called it the second Hiroshima, and it very, very close to destroy our relationship with Japan. Because it's pretty close to Japan.
Yeah.
But it was real close to ruining
If it
our
had been
relationship.
5 miles further into the stratosphere, Japan was like, no.
We're out. Yeah, so it was a major event, major issue.
Wow.
As you would expect, the U.S. tried to cover it up for a long time. But what's crazy is you might have noticed that earlier I said it was the largest nuclear bomb the U.S. has ever detonated.
Interesting.
Because Russia beat us.
Where do they detonate their bombs?
The middle of Russia, somewhere. I don't know.
One Piece Atoll?
I hate that. They're a little more conservative
Yeah.
up there.
It's like a big church camp. That's what Russia is. It's just a fun little church camp. And Putin is the past. Pastor Putin.
So we won't spend a lot of time talking about this, but the Tsar Bomba was detonated.
Tsar Bomba?
Tsar Bomba is what they named
That
it.
sounds like a roller coaster. But go ahead.
Welcome to the Tsar Bomba.
Please keep your hands and arms inside the tram at all times. Remember to have fun and get ready for an explosive trip.
I was about to say that exact same thing.
The Tsar Bomba.
Tsar Bomba. So they let's see. The Tsar Bomba, man, I don't know. I can't find the
How
date.
big? How many megatons was that?
Yeah, so the Tsar Bomba was
15 and a half.
Castle Bravo was 15 kilotons,
Right.
which is 3 times the size of the little boy bomb from
Yes.
Hiroshima. Tsar Bomba, 50,000 kilotons.
What?
Yeah, so literally, like
Where? How? What?
they did it obviously, they did it in Russia. They tested it in Russia. It left the stratosphere. It left the mesosphere, which is the one above it. It was 250,000 feet high. Was the mushroom cloud, literally in space. This mushroom cloud went to space, and it could be seen for 100 miles. The mushroom cloud could be seen for 100 miles. Let me see if I can find the width of it at the time of the explosion. Let's see. Visible 100 miles away. They tested. This is insane.
What year was it?
I can't find something that said
Okay.
October 30th. I see October, like, I don't know the year.
2020.
No. They tested it, and the blast from it, the shock wave,
Alaska.
the shock wave, circled the planet 3 times.
What?
Yeah, in literally just an insanely huge,
We
huge
have heard
explosion.
it? If it happened.
I don't know. I was really curious about that. If anybody would have heard it, but it broke windows up to 560 miles away. So like massive distances were of damage from this explosion. And then immediately after that test, the U.S., the British, the Chinese, like pretty much half the world came together and were like, we're not going to test nuclear bombs anymore. Okay, everybody, we all agree.
Are we
we're
cool?
not doing this.
Are we
Yeah.
cool? Let's just
We're just done with this.
bring it
No
down
more of
a
that.
bit.
We're not doing any more of that. We're done with the nuclear tests.
And Russia was like, we are done too. Yes.
We will no longer do
We
these.
will not do it again. No.
Yeah, we're done with this
Wow.
explosion. Yeah. The total destruction radius of the bomb, so things that completely were just destroyed, was 35 kilometers, and
Jeez.
the diameter of the fireball, the radius was 3.5, so the diameter is like double that.
7.
Insane,
Wow.
massive.
cool.
massive
We could
explosion.
like obliterate each other.
Yeah, quite literally. So yeah, so
Pretty scary. And we're just here doing podcasts about dumb stuff.
yeah,
And the powers that be could literally just wipe us all out.
yeah, they
Isn't that
could
fun?
quite literally destroy the planet. Insane. So yeah, fiddle off that guy, I guess.
The rest of the world agreed to stop doing bombs, and they're like, guys, let's fiddle this off. All right.
Hey, thanks for watching Things I Learned Last Night. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and watch some of our other videos. They're showing up on the screen somewhere around here right now. We'll see you later.